What if a love once thought to be over quietly waited for the perfect moment to burn brighter than ever? Get ready, because in 2025, two of China's most beloved stars are about to set the screen, and your heart's on fire again. Zi and Li Xian are back. And this time, their on-screen romance promises to be deeper, more powerful, and more unforgettable than ever before. Welcome to News Stars CN, where we bring you the stories that matter, from screen to soul. When two hearts once connected on-screen return to the spotlight, it's more than just a casting decision. It's a collective heartbeat for millions of fans who never truly let go of the magic. Zi and Li Xian are names that, for many, evoke a sense of nostalgia, warmth, and a rare kind of authenticity that is hard to replicate. Their initial pairing in Go Go Squid wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural moment. They didn't just play Tong Nian and Han Shangyan, they embodied them, making us laugh, cry, and believe that love in its purest form can be both exhilarating and grounding. Since that unforgettable portrayal of young, tender romance, audiences have followed their journeys, both professionally and personally, with an almost sacred reverence. And though years passed and projects changed, the yearning for a reunion never faded. That hope, the wish to see them together again, in a story just as powerful but even more mature, has finally been answered. But this time, it's different. This time, the stakes are higher, the emotions deeper, and the storytelling richer. In Splendid Glory, Zi and Li Xian return not as playful lovers stumbling through first love, but as two battle-hardened souls shaped by ambition, loss, and longing. Their chemistry is no longer just charming, it's magnetic. There's a weight behind every glance, every pause, every word. You sense the history between them, not just from their past characters, but from their shared growth as artists. What makes this reunion so compelling is that it mirrors real life in its complexity. People grow. Love changes. Connections evolve. This isn't fan service. It's evolution. It's a creative choice that honors the past while daring to explore something more vulnerable, more earned. The reunion of Zi and Li Xian feels like coming home to something familiar, yet discovering it all over again, more layered, more meaningful. For longtime fans, it's a reward. For new viewers, it's an invitation to witness a chemistry that transcends time. And for everyone in between, it's a reminder that sometimes, the most powerful stories are the ones that don't just continue, they grow. Love that has walked through flame returns with a different weight, its edges honed, its glow harder to extinguish. In Splendid Glory, the bond between Hua Weifeng and Jiang Chongyang carries that burnished depth. It is no longer the bright spark of first affection but a heat tempered by ambition, disappointment, and distance. She has risen from a trader's daughter to the mind behind a vast mercantile network that stretches from Chang'an to the desert caravans, reading profit and peril in every ink stroke of her ledgers. He has survived the courts of power, bargaining with princes and warlords, discovering that influence is counted not only in silver, but in the debts men whisper about when the lamps are low. Their reunion matters precisely because neither arrives unchanged. In the clamor of the capital's markets, where a shift in copper prices can topple governors, Weifeng negotiates with a smile sharp enough to draw blood. Across the river, Chongyang locks down shipping lanes, painfully aware that one poorly stamped manifest might consign an entire fleet to ruin. When a shadow consortium moves to strangle the tea trade, circumstance forces them back to the same table. The partnership begins as a calculated risk, yet every late-night strategy session stirs old memories. The cadence of laughter they once shared, the instinctive trust that now feels both dangerous and essential. Working side by side, they rediscover a language that needs no words, half smiles across maps, quiet nods over balance sheets, but the fire that rekindles also exposes fault lines. His oath to a brittle throne collides with her promise never again to kneel. Her fierce independence threatens the fragile trust he is learning to extend. Each victory in the counting house costs them a sliver of certainty about one another, until passion and doubt weave together like threads in an imperial brocade, impossible to separate without tearing the cloth. Beneath every negotiation lingers a question neither dares to voice. Can two flames, each bright enough to light a kingdom, burn in the same hearth without consuming everything they hope to protect? Their love, reforged in fire, is no safe refuge. It is a crucible that tests how much they are willing to sacrifice and whether, in the blaze, they can stand unafraid, side by side, stronger than the inferno that first forged them. Power in the Tang era is neither crown nor sword, but influence whispered behind silk screens and sealed with a merchant's chop. Hua Weifeng learns this truth when the court invites her to supply grain to a border garrison, only to discover the contract is bait. Accepting would bind her fortune to the bone to a minister famed for purging rivals. Declining would forfeit the lives of soldiers already starving. As she debates, Jiang Chongyang uncovers the scheme's hidden line. The minister is backed by the very consortium that once ruined his family. In that moment, affection bends beneath the weight of unfinished vendettas. The betrayal is not loud. It arrives in a single ledger page, numbers altered by a loyal clerk who never questions why silver vanishes overnight. Wei Feng realizes the sabotage only when her warehouses stand empty, creditors mass at dawn and the flagstones outside her gate swim beneath buckets of inked petitions. Rage flashes, not at the loss, but at the knowledge that someone she once called ally wields her trust like a blade. Chongyang sees her fury and recognizes a mirror of his younger self. He steps forward, offering ships, manpower and the political cover that she, as an outsider to court intrigue, cannot claim alone. Together they forge a counter-offensive as precise as any battlefield maneuver. She manipulates supply lines, turning rival merchants against one another by offering grain at a price too generous to refuse, while he leverages favors owed by bureaucrats who believe loyalty can be weighed in jade. Yet amidst strategy rooms lit by guttering lamps, remorse shadows his resolve. To protect her, he must confront the minister, a man who once spared his life at the cost of his father's honor. Redemption, he realizes, is not a gift but a transaction. It demands the truth he has avoided for years. When he finally kneels before the minister, he refuses to beg, presenting evidence of corruption that will shatter the man's faction. The minister's reply is quiet. Betrayal begets betrayal. Chongyang walks away marked for execution. At dawn, as bolts rattle the palace gates, Wei Feng arrives with the one currency no official can ignore: public faith. She has mobilized guilds, scholars and commoners whose livelihoods hinge on her grain. Faced with revolt, the emperor himself intervenes. Contracts are annulled, the minister stripped of rank, and Chongyang's life spared. Their victory is not celebration but reckoning. Wei Feng understands that power without conscience corrodes, Chongyang that vengeance without mercy destroys. In reclaiming their futures they have undone their pasts, proving that beyond romance lies a fiercer bond, two spirits remade by betrayal yet willing together to choose a kinder form of power. In a world hungry for real representation, Splendid Glory delivers. It gives us a female lead who is intelligent, flawed and powerful, not just in her heart, but in her mind. It gives us a love story that isn't just about kisses or longing glances, but about sacrifice, ambition, and growth. And perhaps most powerfully, it reminds us that true love doesn't always come in youth. Sometimes, it comes after heartbreak, after rebuilding, after surviving. For viewers in the US, Korea, Japan, France, Australia, Canada, Indonesia, the Philippines, and beyond, this drama speaks across cultures and generations. Whether you're 18 or 75, you've known a love that changed you. This story will bring that memory to life again. So, are you ready to feel something real again? Subscribe now to News Stars CN for more exclusive stories, emotional insights, and updates on the stars you love. If Splendid Glory is on your watch list, or if your heart still skips a beat when Zi and Li Xian share the screen, like this video, leave a comment, and tell us. Speech balloon, do you believe some flames are meant to reignite? Thank you for being part of our story today. We'll see you in the next chapter. Until then, keep the fire burning.